All right, so thank you for joining us here. One of the things that Ben said before, and everybody says about the young people, they are the techies and the one into technology. And here you have a presentation about a research techie, and I don't look that young. And so I want to tell you a little bit about why I love technology and why we're starting this presentation this way. One of the things about technology is that you really, if you're really into it, you're going to try to use it for different things. So one of the things that I have done all my life is I have tried to use technology and try to get the most out of technology. For the longest time, I was not able to do much with it. I can tell you some of the early technology solutions were like, we're trying to do this with technology, but it doesn't work very well. For example, PDAs. I was an early adopter of personal digital assistants. Now every smartphone is also a PDA. However, when Apple came up with a Newton, it wasn't that helpful. It was not connected to anything. You had to enter everything, yourself. Some of these things have changed over time. So technology is something that is very useful today. I'm going to talk about different technologies. And how many of you hate technology here? Hate technology? All right. I have one all the way down there. I'm the technology guy. All right. How many of you love technology and use it all the time? Very good, very good. You're in the right place. Actually, if you're in this conference, there's a reason for it. We're going to be talking about different technologies here, and one of them, we're going to be talking about Evernote, we're going to be talking about Livescribe, and we're going to be talking about webcams, and I'm going to be going rather quickly on this. Let's talk about Evernote. How many of you use Evernote right now? How many of you have no idea what Evernote is? All right, a couple of you, very good. Before I talk about Evernote, let me play a quick video on Evernote, and if we can play that video right now.
Hi, welcome to Evernote. Evernote is a way to capture all your experiences and access them from anywhere. Type a note, store documents, record audio, capture a photograph, or any other moment you want to remember. Evernote saves and synchronizes your digital life across all your devices. No matter where you are, Evernote is with you. Use it to stay more organized. Plan your next trip. Design and manage a project. Clear your paper clutter. Capture a moment. And always find what you need. Life is full of experiences, and Evernote helps you capture, manage, and remember them all.
Very good. So basically, those of you that do not use Evernote or know Evernote, what does it do? How does it work? For the longest time, I would listen about Evernote. Everybody talks about it. Oh, Evernote is great. For the longest time, I had no idea how to use it, even though I've always been into technology. I'm like, I really want to use Evernote, but it's not working for me. I downloaded the application a couple of times. I tried to use it. What I found out is that Evernote is not very useful at all unless you use it a lot. The more you use it, it gets to the point that you go, oh my God, I cannot live without this thing. It becomes like everything. It becomes your file cabinet. As we move into a digital world, as we get rid of paper, Evernote becomes more and more useful. So how do I use it? One of the things about Evernote that if you start using Evernote, and by the way, let me say right now, there's another application, OneNote, very similar to Evernote from Microsoft. If you're using that, fine. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, people will argue one way or the other, but yes, you can. It applies what I'm talking about here. What I like about Evernote is that it's across all the platforms. So even if you're a Linux user, it's still the same. You can use Evernote. Now, Evernote, say you're on the web. This is using Chrome. You can have the Evernote application there that you have like the little elephant in the corner. Every time that you go to a website, if you find anything whatsoever that is of interest, you click on that little elephant right there, and automatically it clips to your Evernote account. And it opens up a box up there that it tells you what Evernote notebook, the folders in Evernote are called notebook. Where do you want to save this? Oh, I want to save it in QRCA. I have a notebook called QRCA. So it takes that web page and it automatically saves it, and it immediately gives you here, hey, you have other things that you have saved that are similar to that, in case you're interested. Now, all of these things that get saved immediately are searchable. Everything is indexed. Everything is indexed by Evernote, and every word in that page later, if you search within Evernote, you can find it. So let's move on. What else can you do? So once you put it on Evernote, the minute that I click that note and I said, okay, I want this website to go into this folder in Evernote, I take out my phone, which, by the way, one of the things about this presentation that I want to mention, to me, a lot of this is magic, okay? How this happens is magic. If you were to go back to the 1970s, and I think most of you were around in the 1970s, even if you were little, okay? If you were to go back to the 1970s, and you were in the 1970s, and somebody shows you these Star Trek communicators that we carry around, and all of this, that you can actually take something, and immediately when I click that, it appears on my phone, it appears on my tablet. Everything is connected. It's magic. So magic is like, yeah, it's science that had not been invented yet, so now we explain it. So we have this magic going on here with Evernote, and the benefit of that is that any information that you have saved, you have access to everywhere. So you have it on your phone, you have it on your tablet. What else? Why is this something that we can use? If you're doing secondary research, if you're doing any research that is part of the research that you're doing, that web application is key. I mean, you are going, even social media research, you are going through and you're finding things, click to the folder. I open folders for every job that I have, and I go through and I'm clipping things through my folders. And later on the Evernote application, and I'm going to put this away before I started to try to click my phone. That doesn't work. All right, so, sorry. Later on the Evernote application right over here, you have all of your folders. So you can have a folder that is exactly the job that you're working on, and then you can organize and whatever. You have everything organized in a way. So that's a way of using it. Project organization and analysis. Now, Evernote is not only that web application. If you have this is a screen of a cell phone, right, of a smartphone. So if you have your smartphone and you're doing, say, focus groups, you're doing interviews, you can actually take a picture of, say you're doing an ISO and you have all your information there. You can take a picture of that, and immediately that picture that you took goes into your Evernote account, and you don't have to carry all of that. So you're organizing all of the project information together. So the ability to take photographs and put them on Evernote is great. Now, is it only for organization for projects? Not so. You go out to dinner. You order a bottle of wine somebody recommends. It's great. You got to remember. You want to remember that. Take your phone, click it with the Evernote application. Just click the photo there. Your photo goes directly to Evernote. And then the name on the photographs, Evernote recognizes the names on photographs and indexes that. Anything that is on the photograph, even handwriting, it's recognized, and you can index that. You can search for that later, which is amazing. Again, magic. All right, email forwarding. One of the things about Evernote is you can take an email. So I go through my email all the time, and I go through that, and I go like, okay, is this important? I want to save this email, but I don't need it right now, but I want to say, for example, somebody sends me something that is somebody that can do interpreting services. And I'm like, well, I may need that sometime. I send it to my Evernote email address, so I forward immediately. Forward to my Evernote email address. With Evernote allows you to use the ampersand, the @ sign, and then you put the name of the folder where you want it to go. Magic, your email is in the folder in Evernote, in the cloud. It already appears on my phone, it already appears on my tablet, it's already connected, so anytime you need anything, all of your documents are there. A scanner. Say you have a scanner and you want any paper documents that you have laying around, somebody tells you something, I put it on the scanner, click, right into Evernote directly. So it becomes my file cabinet too. I want to talk about something else called Zendan. Has anybody heard of this? I didn't think so. This is a new company. I love this company. This company created, have you heard of the Getting Things Done approach, GTD? Mm-hmm. What they did is they took the GTD approach and they made it work with Evernote. What happens with this is that they created an inbox so that anything that you have in your email or anything that you want, you send to your inbox in Zendan. And Zendan immediately has a place that you can review your emails. It goes into an inbox. And from there, you can get a to-do list. Now, your to-do list, say, let me explain. So, all right, so say this is my inbox, okay? I got that email that I saw before. I send it to Zendan. When I go to Zendan, it goes through Evernote, but it gets into this place where you review everything that you have in your email, and it could be pictures or anything. And I can tell it, okay, I want that. This is what I need to do with this. Later, I do this. What I need to do with this is I have to get this presentation done in such and such day. Immediately, they also connect to Google Calendars. So your to-do, prepare PowerPoint presentation, appears on my Google Calendar, who is connected to my, I use Thunderbird, but you can use whatever. And all of a sudden, everything, immediately, boom, everything is connected. Magic. All right. Let me talk about more magic, and this is a Livescribe Pen. And just quickly, I don't know if you've seen the Livescribe Pen and what it does. How many of you have seen this? Okay, most of you. Since most of you have seen it, I'm going to talk quickly about it. Basically, what Livescribe does is that everything that you, let me go back. Let's play this video real quick.
This is the new Sky Wi-Fi Smart Pen from Livescribe. It records everything you write and hear and captures your notes, ideas, memories, and wirelessly sends them so you can play back your words anytime on nearly any device. With Evernote, you can search, organize, and access your notes and audio on Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, and most web browsers. Your digital notes and audio come to life as an interactive document called a pencast. The new Sky Wi-Fi Smart Pen. It's not just about taking notes. It's where your notes will take you.
All right. How many of you know the Sky Wi-Fi Pen, the Sky, the latest one? One of you. Okay, since many of you know Livescribe, let me tell you about the two different pens. The Echo Pen, there was a pen, right now these are the two pens that they sell. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these two. The Echo Pen is the traditional pen that they have, the Smart Pen. It works with the desktop software. This is a Livescribe desktop software. What Livescribe does is that you can buy notebooks like this, and the notebooks could, I mean, they even have post-it type notes, and they have journal type notes, but what this does is that any of this, you can actually write here, and of course it records everything that you're writing, okay? The traditional Echo Pen, what it does is it works with the desktop software that they have. So you have to download the Echo software, the desktop software, and everything that you write is there. The new one, the Wi-Fi, works with Evernote, okay? And that's a big difference. Wi-Fi in the sense that it connects to the internet without a cable, so anything that you write, if you are in a Wi-Fi place and it's connected, it gets uploaded to your Evernote account. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those two approaches and why one is better than the other. Oh, yeah, these are the different notebooks that I was talking about. One of the things, if you're not familiar with this, is at the bottom there, you have controls in every note. You know what? I'm going to pass this around. I'm going to turn on the pen. Feel free to write on this notebook and just pass it around. Their pen is right there. If you want to take notes on anything, that's fine. All right, so the one thing about how it works, I'm going to play a video that I'm going to show you how the whole thing works when you're taking notes on the notebook. If you could play the video real quick, please.
All right, so basically what I'm trying to say is that video is
that's not the one.
Powerful.
But that's a great video, by the way. I like the guy right there. Number three. Maybe not.
So let me give an example of how this works. Basically, you can write anything you want, and it's recording at the same time that it's writing. This is part of my presentation for the Insight Innovation Exchange. Now you can see my handwriting is not that great, but it doesn't matter. It writes down whatever I put down on the paper. I'm part of the QRCA group, and QRCA stands for Qualitative Research Consultants Association, and that's our organization. I'll give it a plug here. Let's see the QRCA website, www.qrca.org, and telephone number is 888 what is it? I'm sorry. org.qrca. So that's the phone number for QRCA. And basically, as you can see, you can not only write, but you can make circles, happy face, whatever you want to do. And the pen is actually recording everything that you write down on the piece of paper, as well as the words that go with it. Okay, that's it for now. And I'm going to hit stop.
All right. So basically, I think some of you get an idea of how it works. Let me tell you a little bit of how I use it. One of the things that I use the Smart Pen on a regular basis for interviews. Now, for the longest time, as I said, I like to use technology, but for the longest time I said, I'm not going to use the Livescribe Pen because I don't take notes. You know, my handwriting is not that great. I am not one to take notes all the time. I've always been into technology, so the minute that computers came out, I was typing. I was not writing. I'm not a person that writes all the time. However, one of the things that I do is I do record sessions all the time. The Livescribe Pen is an excellent recorder. It can record sessions very well. One of the things that I do when I use it is that I am taking not notes of everything, because I don't have time to take notes when I'm doing an interview. That's not what I do. But I do certain things. Like, for example, I'm doing an exercise in which I said, let's brainstorm about this. If I am not in the easel doing the brainstorming or writing things, and I'm writing it on a piece of paper, sometimes I do that, I am writing it on my Livescribe notebook that I have in front of me. And that helps me tremendously in the analysis later. But better yet, every single time that there is something that somebody says that I think, wow, I make a little star. I mean, I know I make myself, or in the same notebook, you can put there's a thing that says bookmark, and you hit bookmark. Later on, you take your notebook out, you click there, and you can play back, what was said. My recommendation to you, if you're using this, okay, is to do the analysis on interviews, to go back, use the notebook. Go back on the notebook where you took notes with the pen, get headsets on, with a pen so that you can hear, or put a speaker on if you don't want to hear it from the pen because it's a small speaker, and actually listen while on the notebook as opposed to the desktop software or Evernote. I feel that it's a lot more convenient to do it that way. The other thing that a lot of people do not know about Livescribe is that when you're listening to that recording later, you can take notes. And those notes that you're taking, say you don't do anything with a notebook whatsoever, and I rarely take many notes when I'm doing it, but later on, when you're doing the analysis and you're trying to pull quotes or you're trying to listen to the interview, you listen with a pen and you're taking notes. All of those notes that you're taking are also linked to the recording. So you can take notes and all of that is working that way. Okay, so Echo or Sky? These are the question that I had before. There's two pens, the Echo and the Sky. The Echo works with the desktop software. The Sky works with Evernote. My recommendation is to go with the Echo and not the Sky. Okay, right now. I bought the Sky as soon as it came out. They need to perfect a few things with the Sky pen, okay? The Sky pen, if you are a heavy user of Evernote, like I am, the Sky pen is great in that it doesn't go through that software. It goes directly to Evernote. But there are a lot of things that do not work exactly the same. Deleting sessions from the pen, there's a lot of things. You can call me later. You can talk to me about it, and I'll tell you all the details.